Thank you, Partho and Gitanjali. I'm the odd man out, maybe one of the oldest people here amongst the youth. And you all have really impressed me a lot with your poems. And in this literary forum, I don't know whether I fit in, but still, as I have promised, I'm going to speak. I'm going to take you in the time machine 200 years back. I don't know whether any one of you have seen the time machine. You get into that chair and you go back. This is going to be something like that. It is about a book written of a sage who left his body after 120 years. He was born in Punjab, in a small village, in a poor family. And then he rose and he rose and he rose. I'm going to talk about him. He is Sri Hansdevji Avadhut Paramhans. I would also like to tell you that the first book which was written on him was by a royal from Bengal, and she was Hemlata Roy. This was done in 1924, when he was 90. So I'm going to be reading excerpts from the book which she wrote. It was called Kailaspati. It was written in Bengali and published in sometimes in 1930. It was the Ramakrishna Mission which has helped us. And now Ramakrishna Mission Kolkata, after reading this book in Bengali, has decided to translate the book in English because nobody would read it in Bengali or in Gujarati in today's age. The first translation from Bengali was done in Gujarati because the sage had two ashrams in Bharuch and Surat. No sooner the book was published, they had to come out with the second edition, and now the second edition is also over and not available. So the third edition is being published, and the English edition will be out by the year end. Sri Hansdevji Avadhut was basically, just give me a minute. He was a Vedantist of the sect of sages, Udasin sect of sages. His preachings were with drashtants. Drashtants means parables. So the common man could understand and practice what he preached. I will now read two such parables out of the hundreds given in the book. He always greeted everybody with Hari Har. One day at noon, we paid our visit to the said hut. The sage was then reportedly having a nap after his midday meal. The moment we saw him, we got surprised as he got up and cordially invited us to sit down. On paying our obeisance, we sat at a charpoy at the gate of the hut and prayed for a holy discourse. Blessed were we to have listened to his holy words, of which a gem of an advice is still vivid in my mind. Said the sage, attachment with or attraction to things, ephemeral as well as our full five vices, never earns anything eternal. To substantiate this point, our Baba, the said sage, told us a few parables like the following. It was the hermitage of a great sage. A mother dog with 5 of her cubs used to live near it. Every time a man wanted to meet the sage, he failed to do so because he was howled out and snarled at by the canine family. None of the visitors could have the fortune of meeting the hermit. But when an intelligent soul, making no show of anger or any emotion, intently, as well as humbly intended to meet the hermit, the latter was pleased enough to oblige him by keeping aside the dog. The parable over, the sage explained the inner meaning by saying that the hermit is none other than God. The mother dog is nothing but attachment, and her cubs are but the irrepressible human vices that include lewdness, rage, greed, pride, and enmity. Out of avidya or ignorance are born these 5 vices in man. If one duly overcomes these vices, intently wants to get near God and makes a fervent appeal to Him, then he becomes benignant and helps man to overcome the obstacles that confront him on the way. Thus spoke Sri Krishna in the Gita. Devi helps gunamayi maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya mitang tarantite. In order to explain how Satchidananda is realized, the sage told us another parable. Once a man, before he got down to bathe in the river, left his precious necklace on the bank. A bird who was then sitting atop the tree took it to be a delicious foodstuff, and having taken it up with its beak perched on a tree beside a pond. On examination, when the bird came to learn that it was all but an edible substance, it left the necklace there and flew away elsewhere. Another man who had been to that place for a bath was amazed at the reflection of the necklace in the water and hastily got down in the pond water. As he got down, the water got muddy and he could not locate the necklace under water. He returned home helpless. After a certain passage of time, there came the third man in order to bathe there. He too found the reflection of a necklace in the water. Intelligent as he was, he could easily realize that there was no necklace underwater, so without trying to find it out underwater, he looked up and located it. He lost no time to climb up the tree, and after much effort, he got the necklace. Having told this tale, the sage explained its implicit meaning. The necklace, said he, is happiness embodied. The human world has an eternal hankering after this joy, but it's nothing difficult to earn. First and foremost, one has to patiently locate the source of this joy, and then it's nothing difficult to acquire it. There's everything but joy and happiness in things terrestrial. Every human being has that source of happiness embedded in his heart of hearts. Atma is that source. Once a man finds it out, he is sure to be oblivious of his selfishness, gets devoted to serve others, and thus gets absorbed in eternal bliss and happiness. Thank you. Maria.